Yeah, as I was saying, he was being, baby, like, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. He's like, oh, well, he's like, I'll see how I'm feeling. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be out here all day waiting, like, every day of the week until you get over it. And I'm looking like, yeah, I'm not got to do that. Like, dude, I called you, baby. Grow up. Grow up. You want to say you're the grownest person in the room. You're that. You're this. You're that. But when when it actually comes time for you to live up to it, you're not. You're being the total opposite of what you were saying you are. He's like Fallon from season 9 of Bad Girls Club. All that she talk. You know how Fallon is. She talk all that mess. She can't. She can't. She can't. Y'all know how Fallon is. If y'all seen Bad Girls season 9, you'll see how Fallon is. He's like that. I was like, okay. Since you want to be like that, I was like, no. I said on Thursday today, I'm gonna catch him. Like, no, you need to stop being a baby. Like, this is like he's proving my point. I called you a baby. Now, if you were so called saying I'm not a baby, I'm not a baby. I was like, okay, well, if you're not a baby, then prove that you're not a baby. Just prove it. This is how you would prove that you're not a baby if someone called you a baby. You would be like, oh, I'm how my baby. And then you would handle the situation, not purposely do stuff to prove my point. Like, oh, if you wasn't a baby, and if you wasn't that, you would have got over it quick minute. Because a grown-up being called a baby, like, oh, I see, like, I'm a baby, okay? And you said, and most grown-ups would be like, I'm not a baby. I'm not. I'm not a baby. They would have been like, I'm not a baby. I'm like, okay. And then the grown-up would have handled his business by proving you with action, not with words, that he's not a baby. Which Brian can only say with words. And he brought up the time with Fortuna. Y'all, even Fortuna know how this really went down. First of all, he said you were crying when Fortuna hit you. You sound dumb as Bishoy. Yes, you do. Because Bishoy said the same thing every time. And every time I set Bishoy down about the same thing. Like, you know what happened. Like, why are you trying to be Bishoy and act like I was actually crying? Like, I was crying out one side of my face because I was mad pissed because it was taking my stuff and just throwing that stuff. It was like the violation of Andrea from season 9 of Bad Girls Club. It's like they took all her stuff and just threw that stuff on the run, like on the highway. I know y'all seen that if y'all seen Bad Girls Club. That's exactly what they were doing with my stuff. They were throwing my stuff, throwing it around, and then they would pick it up and they would play like monkey in the middle with me. I'm like, dude, it's time to go. It's almost time for me to go in. I'm not about to go there carrying all my stuff in my book bag. And I had a lot in there. I was like, no, I'm not about to go in there because you want to be a big baby. And I was mad pissed that I started like just one eye just started like a tear went down one eye. And then I'm like, no. And then Udelcy had my binder and I just grabbed her real quick and I was like, nah, give me my stuff. She gave me my stuff. Fortuna's like, why did you do that? And Fortuna acted like she know everything was going on. So then Fortuna pushed me and I said, no, I'm done. I have had it. So then I'm still only have one eye crying. And then I start cussing Fortuna out, make her feel bad. She's over here apologizing. That's what happened. So don't even say that because you feel mad dumb, don't you? That's what happened. Get your stuff correct. Thank you. I was like, if you want to be fake like that and be fake just like that, okay, be fake like that. You just continue to prove my point that you are being a baby. You need to go up, get over it, and start acting like a man that you say you are. Again, that he says he is. This is Brian's definition of a man. Someone who's strong, someone who has muscle, someone who has abs, someone who's got game. This is what he feels out. Strong. He has muscle. But not once have I seen him get game. Not once. He can't even live up to his own definition of a man. Well, a definition of a man to me is different. Okay, yes, he has to have personality. He's not, I don't want a fat man. I'm sorry. I don't. That's nasty. I'm sorry. I can't do that. He got to be in shape. He's like, he got to keep his stuff together. He got to have a job. He don't really have to have game because if you have those things, you already kind of have game because game is proving what you are like. They probably wouldn't have to speak to me. Even if he was really awkward about it, he'd probably be scared. Like, Game. This is what you need to have game, which something he doesn't have. Money. Don't be a baby. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. Money. Don't be a baby. Have good looks. Have a nice personality. And like be able to be socially loved by everybody around you, like me. That's having game, because when you're like that, people are gonna want to talk to you, and then when you talk to them, they're gonna actually see how you're shy, and then we're like, oh, he's shy, it's not that big of a deal, and people are still gonna accept you. That's having game. Having game does not mean you talk to a girl, all of a sudden she's dating you, because you had to talk to her for her to know what you were like. I call that definition of game is like fake game. Like if you have to prove to them or say what you have to prove to them about stuff like that, I'm like, no, fake game. No, that's fake game. If you had to prove to them what you have, what you own, how you got game. Like if you have to tell someone, oh yeah, I got game. It's like girls who say I'm a bad bitch. Can't say that, my aunt can hear me. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad B. Okay, I'm a bad B. People who say that obviously are saying that so people know. Like to be a bad B, you don't need to let everybody know I'm a bad B, because that means you're not a bad B. Everybody needs to know you. If people don't know you're a bad B, you have to tell them, because when you see a bad girl, you know she's a bad girl. Point blank. She don't have to justify herself to anybody. She don't have to tell people, oh yeah, look at me, I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad girl. She don't have to do that. It's like a guy who has to say, oh yeah, I got game, and have to go and prove that they have game. Like, no. To be a true bad girl and a true bad boy and a boy to have game, you don't have to prove nothing. Point blank. That's what I had to say. Bless. He said let me bring up a couple situations so y'all get where I'm coming from. Brian, no, I'm saying the situations like how he said it. Well, how it really went down. So this is what happened. Oh, Keyshawn, whatever. Okay, we were talking about stuffed animals. He does like, oh, remember that stuffed animal you gave me? It smells like smoke. So let's get into the situation. I don't care. Like, she can hear me and okay, my Aunt Betty does smoke. And at the time, like, I didn't have a fan blowing away the smoke. And the smoke, sometimes my clothes smell like smoke. At the time, I was like, oh my God, like, she really needs to stop smoking. She got better with that. Like, when she starts smoking now, she doesn't, like, wait until she's done smoking to blow the fan away where the smoke is already, like, everywhere. She turns on the fan while she's smoking, which is a smart idea, because then that way my clothes now don't smell like smoke. Everything in my house don't smell like smoke. Like, it eventually started to like smell like, and everybody told me, oh, you smell like you've been smelling like smoking. Like, no. At the time, she wasn't doing that, and she got better at that. Gotta admit that. So yesterday she turned on the fan. She said she smelled smoke, and she said it was a stuffed animal. Point blank. I was like, okay, yeah, okay. And then Brian's like, oh, you got some garbage animals. You got garbage this. You can't afford nothing. You garbage. You poor. You broke. You all this. I'm like, I can understand if he started laughing. Like, I was like, yeah. Okay, it did. I was like, okay, whatever. Then he starts, like, saying stuff. I'm like, okay, dude. At first, since he's my friend, I wasn't really going to scream at him. Like, if it was anybody else, I'd be like, excuse you, sit down before you get violated. So I'll let him get away with it. Then he starts calling me broke, weak, and garbage animals. You fake. Not that I'm fake. Like, you poor. You and like you talk about money. You got money. You ain't got money. You broke this. You broke like that. Look at me. I got money like that. I got money like that. At least I can get a real. So you tell me I'm gonna go get you some real stuffed animals. Some stuffed animals that actually cost money. Not that fake stuff that Keyshawn got the garbage and like smoking stuff. I was like, you know, that's horrible. Like, the reason I gave them was a stuffed animal was, like, to represent our friendship at the time. I had to fix that, my friendship thing. I'll do that next year when I can come back. But anyway, he want to be like, oh, this. I'm like, excuse? Like, to me, it was representing our friendship with that person. I can understand if you lie because it smelled like smoke. Yeah, okay, whatever. But to sit there and call someone poor, broke, they ain't got money like that. Oh, that's why you whack. You ain't got money. You poor, like, you broke. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you wouldn't let someone, like, wouldn't be too happy if someone sat there and called you broke, poor, and all this extra stuff and started talking about you like that. I'm pretty sure y'all wouldn't like that either. But Brian won't say that part that he said that. Like every time I was about to, and then when he tried to bring it up, every time I tried to talk about the part, you know what he did? He tried to speak over me, started screaming mad loud, so no one would hear that, no one would hear or remember when he was talking to random people about it, would hear that part, because then they would be like, Brian. Then they would have saw how wrong Brian was in there. He can't be proven wrong. And then if he is proven wrong, he's got to bring up so many situations, like I remember I proved him wrong. So then he brought up the stuffed animal situation, which he wouldn't let me actually speak about, because he know he would have felt mad dumb. Another situation. And then after that, no, we're not gonna we gonna go in order. After that, he wanna be like, and I get mad. He's like, why you mad? Why you're mad? I'm pretty, like, tell me in the comments, would you be mad if someone did that to you? Calling you broke and stuff and poor and all this stuff? I don't think you would be too happy. Tell me if you would in the comments. So, he's like, why are you mad? Why are you mad? I said, I understand you were trying to make a joke. Yes, I understand that. I am a comedian. Yeah, I know that. I can understand when someone's trying to make a joke. But sometimes there is a line between violating somebody and comedically talking about them. Because you know it's comedically when they're laughing with you, not when they're in the corner about to cry. I wasn't about to cry, by the way. But that was just an example. Like, when someone's in the corner about to cry and you're talking about them and you think it's funny and everybody around you thinking it's funny and that person's about to cry, you need to stop because the joke went too far. You're hurting their feelings now. Now, now you start talking about them and they're like, with you, then you know, oh, well, I didn't cross the line. I'm not crossing the line. Good. Don't take it further and further and further. Because eventually I got mad where he was just sitting there violating me. Like, bogusly, bogusly violating me. I'm like, no, I'm not happy with you right now. No, I'm not happy. He's like, oh, it was just a joke. Man, you can never take a joke. You can never take a joke. You want to talk massive about other people, and when it's done to you, you want to be a big... I was like, first of all, when I talk stuff about people, I even told them that. I said, when I talk stuff about people, they laughing with me. They're not in the corner about to cry. The only person I ever did that to was B-Shore. Get it correct. When I ever talked about someone, I did not try to make them cry. Now, I mean, when I was doing it comedically, I would not try to make them cry. Now, if I was mad at someone and actually was trying to come at them, not trying to do it comedically at all, then I can understand their feelings were hurt. That's a different situation. But when I talk about someone like that, I do not try to purposely hurt their feelings. And if I do, I will, every time I do something like that, talk about someone, but not try to do it, mean that I'll stare at, I'll always, if I'm talking to someone else, saying it to somebody else, I'll stare at the person I'm talking to. Because they'll be in the area when they're doing it. I don't talk that stuff behind the back and keep staring at them like Carla does. When she's talking about you, you know, because she stares at you. I don't do that. The person's always around. Or if they're not around, I'll go and tell them, or someone will tell them for me. So, that's how I am. And I always look at the person just in case and see how they're feeling. Because you know when people are about to cry and when people are mad or when people are getting upset and you're hurting their feelings. You can tell when you're talking about somebody like that. So I would always check before I cross the line. And if I ever did cross the line and did something to hurt somebody's feelings, they know if I ever did it to you that I came up to you and I apologized to you, unless you were a B-Shore. Sorry. Just down. I would come up and to apologize to you because that is wrong. You should not do that to anybody. But Brian's too man enough to, he says he a real man and stuff. A real man admits when he's wrong. A real man can say, oh yeah, I'm sorry, that was wrong on my part. That's a real man. Apologizing, what people don't get these days is that apologizing doesn't prove that you're weak and stuff. It means that you're real, that you know you're wrong and you can admit it. That means you're a real tough man.